Hey, confirm this story for me. We're going to wrap this thing up after this story. I always heard a story, I think it was before I came in the company, and everybody knew, and we'll cover this in more detail next time you're on the show, but Owen used to pull ribs on everybody, and he kept the whole crew laughing, whether you were in the ring, and he could also have a great match in the ring. But when it was time for a little bit of ha-ha, he was that guy. And through the airports, on the road, everybody laughed with Owen. But one time, I guess it was like a battle royal situation. You guys are overseas. I want to say it was India. And somehow Owen snuck a bunch of tuna fish into the ring. And while you were on the mat, stuck the tuna fish in your mouth and had you in a camel clutch. Is that a true story?
Yeah, I think that is a true story.
What happened?
I can't remember. I think it was a little more subtle than that. I can't remember, but it doesn't. For some reason, I'm thinking it was true.
Well, okay, so what was the best rib Owen played that you saw?
Well, I think the best one was the one with, for me anyway, was the one with my dad and Reg Park. You know,
what happened? Reg Park used to wrestle. He was one of the first guys to make championship wrestling belts. Give a little history on Reg Park.
Yeah, years and really nice ones.
Yes,
really nice.
He was
and
a standard.
He was a bodybuilder. He had a really good body. He had a really good physique and was a fairly respected bodybuilder before he got into wrestling. And always took good care of his body. Always was a good athlete and stuff like that. Pretty mild, kind of timid guy, but not a shooter or anything like that. And Owen could disguise his voice just because if you met Reg, and Owen only met him a couple of times, they went through Phoenix and stuff like that. He used to live in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Stu knew him and loved him, and every once in a while he'd come up and visit Calgary because Phoenix is kind of Calgary are sort of twins or whatever. And they, Reg would come up all the time and say hi at different times of the year and, passing through. And so we kind of knew him, a little bit, knew that he worked for my dad and knew who he was. And I remember WrestleMania 4, I think, in New Jersey or something. I brought my dad down, and he was in a big suite with me and one of my kids in a room, and he had a big long nightshirt on. He was having a great time. He was with his first WrestleMania, and he was meeting different guys and wrestlers, and Owen decided to call him. It was first thing in the morning, and we were just getting up and having breakfast and stuff like that, and my dad's in his nightshirt, and Owen decides that he's going to call my dad up from the lobby of the hotel and pretend he's Reg Park, and he calls up, and I answer the phone because it was my room, and he fooled me. I said, "Who is this?" And he goes, "It's Reg Park. Can we talk to your father or something like that?" And he disguised. He did sound just like Reg Park. Yeah. I handed the phone to my dad. I go, "It's Reg Park." And my dad gets on. It's like "How the hell are you, Reg?" And Reg, how you? They're laughing, and Owen's kind of playing along with it, and they're having a couple of good chatting away just like the real Reg would. And then all of a sudden, Owen just turns on my dad and goes, "Stu, you never had the balls to try me," or something. That was what it was. You never had the balls to try me. And he kept saying it to Stu and calling Stu out on the phone and calling him that he wanted Stu to fight him in the lobby of the hotel. And I just remember seeing my dad's face while he was holding the phone. First it was like, "How the hell are you, Reg?" and all that. And a minute later, it's, "Reg, if you'd wanted to try me, why didn't you try me?" And I remember he got so worked up. I remember Owen kept taking it further and further and further until it got hysterical and he couldn't take it anymore. And my dad kept getting more and more wound up until I was actually like thinking I might have to step in and take the phone from him. And then all of a sudden, my dad, I remember he slammed the phone down and sat on the bed in his nightshirt. I remember he was just shaking his head, and he looked at me. He goes, "That lousy Owen, he got me." Because Owen finally just said, "It's me, Owen. I'm pulling your leg." And it was, it really was the funniest I think that he ever did. He got my dad big time.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
It makes me laugh thinking about it.
I know. That guy, he made a lot of people laugh. I tell you, going through the airports, sometimes when we were dead dog tired, and he'd pull a rabbit out of his hat and do something, and everybody would start laughing.